Conflict has a really tedious way of turning communication into me versus you. It's almost how we define conflict, really. I have an issue, we have an issue, we go to battle over it, we attack each other, lots of military metaphors, lots of fighting metaphors. We wrestle, we tussle, there's a winner, there's a loser. I'm not sure that you can say that no argument might look like that. But if we're talking about people that we care about, if we're talking about relationships that matter to us, probably most of the time, that's not a great way to come at conflict. I can make that stronger. If we're going to turn it into me versus you, we're going to have a heck of a time treating it as what it really is, which is we have an issue. Your mother needs to stay with us for a few weeks because she's recovering from surgery. One of our kids wants to take ice skating lessons. You've lost your job or I've lost my job and we got to figure out how to squeeze finances so we can get through this time. Uh, there's a million issues that come up in relationship. And yet most people, way too many people, take those conversations on as a win-lose proposition. That's lethal. That's really destructive. Sure, some people get through it, some people sort it out. Too often it leaves damage. We don't really feel listened to sometimes. A solution is arrived at that both people don't buy into, which is a huge thing by itself, especially in a relationship. Today's video is about seeing conflict, which is really talking about difficult subjects, conversations, as an us problem. Rather than retreating into a position that says, I have to win, you're going to lose, vice versa. I have to prove that I'm right and prove that you're wrong. All kinds of ways of coming at it as a battle. I'm pushing for the notion that we need to see the issues that we have, anything that's going to generate conflict, I mean anything, as an us problem. We can debate the fine points of that, but 90% of the time, if we come at a problem as a collaborative activity, a team activity, an us problem, we've got a way better chance of solving it. If only for one reason, we're not defensive. When we're defensive, we're anxious, we're agitated, we're angry, and we don't have access to the best resources we have for problem solving. We're treating it like a kind of crisis, and there has to be a winner, and there has to be a loser. But most problems aren't about win-losing. They're about solving. So how do you do that? How do you get to a problem in a partnership way, treating each other as participants in this mutual problem to solve? Well, one huge thing to do is to actually identify what the problem is. So many conflicts start because somebody's agitated or hurt or frustrated or scared, and they start with some piece of the problem or some issue of it, and a battle begins, a fight starts. But everyone who's watching this video is something of an expert problem solver. The best way to come at an issue that's causing conflict is to treat it like a problem. What's the problem? What are we actually trying to solve? Can you put that in a sentence or two? Brilliant. You're already well on your way to approaching this in a different way besides a battle. Second recommendation, listen to each other's positions. Don't listen to prove them wrong. Don't listen to defend yourself, but actually listen. Stop, let them talk, summarize back what you've heard. You talk, they summarize back what you've heard, and you keep that process up as necessary to make sure that you really understand what each other are looking for. So many conflicts survive and thrive because the two people involved don't really get what they're trying to solve, and they don't really understand where each other are coming from. Financial fears, concerns about lost privacy, what's going to happen in the future. Again, there's 1,000 things that can get in the way. So identify the problem clearly, briefly, listen, really listen to each other. Don't worry about immediate agreement. You don't got to fix this right this second, unless the house is about to burn down, in which case you should have called the fire department. Sorry. Then give it the time it takes. Let the problem percolate, keep talking about it. And while you're in there, gather some more information. I mean, you're not living in a vacuum. Are there other people that have solved this problem? Do you have people that you trust and might have good information? Again, problem solving, treating it as a problem. And perhaps, as much as anything else, take breaks. You're not going to solve it probably in a single session. Spend some time with it, put it down, spend some more time with it, put it down. You're going to find solutions come. Again, 90% of the time, anything that you're facing as a couple has been addressed and solved by somebody else. thousands of times, millions of times. Us versus them or us coming at a problem. What I'm pushing for today is practical ways for us to not get lost in a fight, but instead to get busy problem solving. Thanks very much.